What is up, my gang? Oh my god, I just ate. I have... Last time, because I tried to stream like a day or so, actually I don't remember how long already. But I tried to stream my whiteboard stuff like I did the previous, but internet was being all wonky, so unfortunately I just deleted those. Because they were only like 5-12 minutes, because my Wi-Fi got so bad that my stream just stopped working. Unfortunately. But, you know, it is what it is. People keep telling me to make I can make a compilation of just how many times I have internet issues on stream. And I'm like, I hate how you're right. But it is what it is. It is. But hey, I just woke up and it's 8, so I feeling. Usually when I start streams, there's no goal. I start them just because I want to. Because if I start streams and I start talking, I don't look as crazy because I talk to myself all the time. Which sounds super depressing, but I find it actually really funny. I find it funny, actually. I embrace my oddity. Plus, it's like when I'm in a call with people and I'm doing something, and even if nobody's talking, I find that I'm able to get stuff done, like, quicker if I'm in a call, even if I'm not talking to anybody. I wonder what the phenomenon behind that is. Like, if you're on call with somebody, and nobody's talking, or, like, doing anything, and yet you get, like, so much more done. It's like when you're in a classroom, and you, like, oftentimes you get more work done in the classroom than you do at home. At least for me. Like, when they gave us free periods, I would use it for work or drawing, and I would get my work done so much quicker in class than I would at home, because once I go home, I'm just plopping and going to sleep and never waking up. Excuse me. I don't know if you heard that. Yeah. I didn't expect my mental health art little shorts to pop off like that. I mean, they didn't really pop off, but they got some attention, and I didn't expect that, to be honest with you. I mean, I post about my stuff all the time, but I try to keep my channel as just arty as possible. Because my TikTok is usually where I post my mental health stuff. And I mean, most of what I post on TikTok, I post on YouTube anyway, so. But yeah. People are asking me plenty of questions. And I'm like, you know what? Might as well just go into a Google Doc and write these down or something, even though I've answered them already. Because if I make a video just answering them, then maybe I won't have to keep answering them. Which is not true, because people will keep asking anyway. But, it is a thought that counts. Also, I don't know what's up with my mic volume today, but it is what it is. Like, this is my first time having, like, a proper computer that's not a Chromebook from school that like, an old Chromebook that I've had for, like, years. Even long after I graduated. Like, it had to be 2022, 2020, I don't know. At some point during high school, near the pandemic, at some point I got that Chromebook, and then I've had it until this year. Like, that's fucking crazy. Like, I'm trying to figure out this computer stuff, okay? I'm not techie. And people are like, aren't you on your phone all the time? And I go, yeah, but I just use it to draw and watch YouTube. I don't do anything else. I'm just sleepily ranting about and chatting about stuff. To be honest, I'm still super tired. It is, like, only a little bit past 11:30 in the morning. So it's gonna be afternoon soon. At least, I consider 12 the afternoon. I don't know. I've never met someone who doesn't consider 12 afternoon. If you do, you're weird. Oh crap. Move upwards. Or move my thing. There we go. I'm probably just gonna rant for like 30 minutes and then leave. Hey, sometimes that's just how the stream is. I wanted to do a whiteboard, but I was like, it's too early for that. And I'm still pretty tired. I wonder if I can get like make like a GIF or something that I could put on the other corner of the screen. And just have that instead of the chat. I feel like that would be funnier. If I had, like, Robert spinning or something. Guys, it's not the hallucinations, I promise. I am by myself in my room, I'm not talking to anybody. Shit. I've been trying to, there's been something up, because I even got a new charger. I even got a new charger, and I tried, you know how when you plug your phone in to your computer or your PC, and it gives you, like, the notification where it asks you for, like, allowing access to your photos and stuff? I haven't been able to do that, and I've tried, like, resetting my computer and stuff, changing the port and everything, and it's not working. And it's frustrating me a lot, because I'm like, I accidentally said no, like, one time, and now I can't, it's not giving me any notifications anymore. It's frustrating, because I have photos I want to upload onto here, and I can't. Especially because I'm looking at, trying to find sites or apps that I could post my comics onto that isn't TikTok. And it's easier to do that if I'm on my computer. But I can't upload shit if it won't give me notification to access my photos. Because a lot of people don't have TikTok. At least in my audience. Actually, I don't know if my audience has TikTok. I think most of my YouTube audience is from YouTube and not TikTok. Well, obviously. But, like, I meant most of my audience probably doesn't have TikTok. That's my assumption anyway. Because I originally started posting on TikTok long before YouTube. Like, all the way back in 2020. Or was TikTok around 2019? I forget, but 2019, 2020, I don't know, one of those years where I really actually started posting, like, my art stuff. Because before then, I was just posting me and makeup stuff, and I was hardly getting anything. And then, one of my videos, like, semi-popped off. Back then, over 70k views was big to me. But then my original TikTok got banned. And then, well, I didn't get banned, actually. Sorry, that was my Instagram. My original TikTok got hacked and I couldn't access it because the email on it was super old. And I didn't know what it was or anything, and I tried contacting and nothing happened. So I had to move to my other account. It looks nicer, just like this. I had to move to one of my other accounts and just restart from there. Which, a lot of my audience, I think before I had like 16 point something followers on my original TikTok before it got hacked and I couldn't access it. And then on my new one, I got a lot of my original audience back pretty quickly because they recognized Liva, who was the character that originally helped my TikTok pop off. She is a slug lady, and the reason she got popular was because I used to draw her with a crop top that showed a lot of underboob, and I joked about her having a weenus. Well, actually, it wasn't a joke. She does have a weenus, but that's how it happened. And then I think I started posting on YouTube regularly, like, because my first video was a short. It wasn't like a long form video. About 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I started posting on YouTube. Which hasn't been that long. And my TikTok right now has around the same amount of followers as I have subscribers on here, but I gathered YouTube subscribers a lot quicker than I did TikTok followers. So there's that. And then my original Instagram, which I've had since like back in 2018, got banned for like sexual exploitation. And I was like, what the fuck? Because the only thing I could think of was like some bikini picture that I posted. Instagram was acting like I posted straight up porn on there, and I didn't. And then I tried to get it appealed, and unfortunately couldn't. So now my original Instagram, which I'm so sad about because it had so much of my old photos and art on there that I like to look at. But then I had to move and make a completely new Instagram account, unfortunately. And I'm sad because I had all my old art on it, and now I can't get those back. Even though I downloaded all my data, but it wouldn't give it to me. Social media apps are duty. They're poo-poo. I don't have Twitter. I mean, I did make an account that one time just to, while I was drawing other people's OCs, just to make sure, just in case anyone I landed on had a Twitter. But then I deleted Twitter after that. So if you see an account with my art on it, it's either not me or it was that one account that I made specifically just to look. I don't use Twitter. I'm not calling it X, fuck you. I don't use Twitter. I don't use Facebook. I don't use Tumblr. I've never been on DeviantArt. The only apps I've ever really had are YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. I didn't even use Discord until like a few years ago, or really use it. I didn't really use Snapchat or anything. I'm not really a social person. The only other app that I had that was like streaming wise was Reality, which you don't know is like an app where you can create your own avatar and stuff. And I should honestly I could make videos on that, but I don't really use that either. To be honest, I only really have it for the character customization. That's why I have most apps, just to customize my characters, not actually use it. My phone is a desert. It's empty, pretty empty. It doesn't have that many apps on it. Compared to everyone else I know who seemingly has apps upon apps upon apps. I mean, I have Minecraft. That's just how I be. I've been trying to decide how I want to how I want to uh create videos about my lore, which I already have been doing. I mean, I've just been kind of explaining stuff in shorts, but like when it comes to like my bigger stuff, like storytelling stuff, I'm deciding whether or not I want it to like be like a full scripty thing with like my characters in it, or if I just want it to be me explaining it. I'm indecisive like that. That and I have uh my what's the word? I when it comes to like modification and stuff, like especially on my comments and stuff, it's not I put it on strict. Like every day I have to go into like every day every few hours I have to go into the YouTube studio to look at comments and see what is held and what isn't. Mainly because of the nature of my channel and I know what kind of people are going to comment on it. And like sometimes the comment is just unnecessary. But most times it's completely fine. YouTube has a weird thing where it holds comments that are like completely average, but then it doesn't censor comments that are like downright criminal. But yeah. I mean, recently there have been a few where I've had to just not approve the comments or delete them, especially on my mental health videos. Because, like, I'm not afraid of having people on there that say stupid shit, but depending on what it is and depending on how long it goes for, I'm just like, okay, that's enough. Especially because it's like some of y'all gotta chill. Some of y'all are crazy. I mean, I've had people tell me that I need the electric chair, or that I deserve to die simply because I'm autistic. So imagine what kind of comments I'd get with all my other issues. I mean, I've had pretty good regulation and understanding like my entire life. So normally that wouldn't be the stuff that I'm born with wouldn't be a problem. But obviously it is. Despite how good of regulation I have and understanding that I have, it's still a problem. Not for me, but for everyone else. Oof. I mean, I don't mind people asking questions, but oftentimes people ask the same question just with different wording, and then I'll have to respond all over again. And it gets kind of annoying, but I know what I signed up for, so. I do get kind of put off by people who are a little too enthusiastic about learning how I am, or like say that they find people like me interesting, because I don't find anyone interesting. To me, people are just people. Like, that's one thing I can't really relate to, because when people say, oh, I find this person's, uh, uh, psychology, or, mindset interesting, and I just can't relate because I don't really care. Like, I've never found it interesting. I know, obviously, with my art and my content, it's very, like a lot of it is psychological stuff. But like, to be honest, if I'm being completely honest, a lot of the times, when it comes to the psychological stuff, that's just me projecting. That's just me putting my thoughts out there and seeing what people think about it without explicitly stating it's my own thoughts. But, like, I don't really find psychology all that interesting. I don't find anything all that interesting, to be honest. You know what I do find interesting, though? Me. So people who are, like, enthusiastic about that kind of thing, or, like, say that I'm interesting, sometimes put me off, or sometimes I'm like, yeah, okay. Because I don't find them interesting back. But that's how it be sometimes. And then people ask, why do you post if you don't care? And then people expect some sort of deep psychological answer, but I just hit them with, no, because I can't. And that's it. There's no, like, deep explanation to it. It's just that. Just cause. People expect some deep psychological answer all the time, when for me, it's not. I mean, if you ask me my true opinions on things, I might give you some big mind words or something. But at the end of the day, most of the time, I just don't care. And I've always been that way. And people are like, is this because of your trauma where you're just numb to everything? And I go, no. I've just always been like that. I've never really cared about anything. Except me, myself, and I. And my cats. And my art. But, yeah. Every time I see those videos where it's like, the psychology behind so-and-so. It's not that they're not interesting. It's just that, to me, because of how I am, when I watch them, in my mind, I'm like constantly critiquing it, where it's like, yeah, I don't think like that. Or it's like, to me, in my mind, I'm like, personally, I just don't care. And then I'll be like, you guys are looking too deep into it. Like, not everything needs some deep psychological answer. Sometimes it just is. Like, sometimes when I say things, like, I don't have any emotion behind it. I just say them because they're words. They're just words to me. Same with my actions. My actions are just actions. I don't feel any deep desire behind any of it. But yeah. Oh, so hello. Sorry, I'm just kind of rambling to myself. I woke up and I ate and I chose to ramble. Oh, sorry, I turned the chat off because nobody's really saying anything anyway. And it looks better like this. Unless I only turn on chat if there's like people chatting constantly. I can still see it though. Really, I'll just ramble until I get bored and leave. Because sometimes you just gotta blow some steam off by talking to yourself. But if I turn on my stream and I speak, it makes it look like I'm actually talking to people. That sounds so depressing. but to me it isn't. I just find it funny. Which reminds me that I had a conversation with this dude, like, literally last night about, like, my apathy and how I just don't really care to be lonely, and he's like, yeah, I'm the opposite. I have screenshots, but I'm not gonna share them. Because, like, obviously it's just a random conversation with a random dude that I only met, like, once. But some of the messages are really funny. So, maybe later, if I crop them and block out any personal info. Because he literally started the conversation off with, yeah, I thought you blocked because I wanted to hook up. Actually, wait, what if I... Yeah, wait, what if I do show it? Wait, I have the screenshot, wait. What if I do show it? Hang on. Let me... Because I don't want to show my Discord stuff. Well, my user's fine, I don't care about that, but... I have the screenshot right here. Look at this shit. You'll see this shit? I'm gonna be honest, bro. I've been cleaning out my phone and haven't been looking at my contacts. Honestly, thought you blocked me. Now life's just been yuck. Sorry about that, lol. Thought you blocked me because you wanted, because I wanted to hook up with you. Not, I didn't say I wanted to hook up with you. You said you wanted to hook up with me. No, but I had I met this guy once when he came over to our house, like one time. He was a friend of my sibling, and then like after a bit, like my sibling blocked him. I don't know why. They just weren't talking anymore, and I completely forgot that I had his contact information. That one that that one day that he came over because it was late and he was waiting to go home. And he exchanged numbers with me. I was like, all right, whatever. And then after he left, like later that day, I don't know if it was later that day or if it was the next day after that, but he started texting me and he was like, you know, would you be down for a hookup? And I'm like, what? And he said, to be honest, I was kind of looking at you the whole time. I was like, you know what? Me too, because you were kind of cute, but also, eh. But I was also like, I mean, I'm down if we ever meet up again. And then he sends me like pictures of like strawberry soju, and he's like, I was trying this and stuff. But 90% of the conversation was like sexual, and I just kind of kept giving him neutral, like, oh yeah answers, like not really playing into it, but not like outright denying it, because at that time I was like, whatever. It is what it is. And to be honest, this guy was giving me such pathetic vibes, but like in a bad way, where he was just too insistent on it, and like he was just kind of just miserable. He sounded miserable because he keeps saying he doesn't have that many friends, and then he like jerks off all the fucking time. Compared to me, where like I don't feel any of that, and I don't really care. And I told him that outright, and he's like, "Yeah, I figured." And I was like, "Dude, I just straight up, I just straight up told him that he like sounded and came off so pathetic." And then he admitted the fact that he makes other accounts to like stalk people. And I'm like, is that because you have no friends? Um, uh, but it's fucking insane. Um, I have more screenshots, but I haven't cropped them yet. Um, I mean, I could do that like literally right now, but it's fucking pathetic, dude. It's horrific. And he was constantly asking me for nudes and stuff. It was weird. But like this conversation literally happened last night. And then he was like, "Oh, I thought you blocked me," and I go, "No." But then after this conversation, I said like, "Okay, good night." He's like, "All right, night." And then I blocked him. I was like, I didn't know. I was like, I didn't block you before because I forgot that you were there. But I'm sure as hell blocking you now. The fuck? Hang on, I'm gonna, hang on, I am, hang on, wait. I am cropping and editing photos right now. Cause this guy, usually I don't really, like, talk about stuff like this, usually. But it was just so out of this world. Um, hang on. I need to edit it or else I'll get in trouble. No, I doubt it. Like, he has none of my socials. I doubt really he knows about any of them. Uh, and if he does, well, sup, bitch. Uh, but he's kind of pathetic, and to be honest, I don't really respect him that much. So he's a very miserable dude. Hang on, I'm going to. Hang on. I'm going to, because I'm in my Discord right now. I'm not gonna send it to my Discord. I'm gonna. Give me a second. Uh, Hang on. Okay. Okay, I have. This is from my Discord server. So, this is from my Discord server, which I've closed for now. I like. I've closed it because I'm kind of like not wanting to let more people in right now. But normally I don't like air like conversations on text or anything like that. But I hardly like this guy sucks, and I've only talked to him like a few times, and they were all terrible. And I'm not exposing any sort of phone number or anything. So, plus, I accept anything that comes after this. But y'all, oh Jesus Christ! Exactly. Um, you guys don't know this, so my family shares a photo gallery. Me, my sibling, and my mom. We share a photo gallery, so we can see each other's pictures. Which means my family sometimes sees like the stuff that I draw, and they don't really care. Um, but I like it's not a secret that like we've all done stuff like this before. I'm not talking about my audience, I'm talking about us three, where it's like, and we just keep that private. You know, it's not something to really be ashamed about. But we don't do stuff like that because, you know, we share a photo gallery, and that would be weird. I wouldn't want to see that, that'd be gross. But this guy. Hang on, wait, let me move to the. Not that one. I think this one was before. He said, what's even worse? I told him this. I told him, like, dude, I don't have any nudes of me saved or anything, because then my sibling and mom would see it, and, like, that would be hella weird. That would be, like, hella weird. And he's like, oh yeah, that would be hella weird. And then, you wanna know what he asked? You wanna know what he asked? You wanna know what he asked? He asked if I had pictures of my sibling. He asked that. He actually asked that. But yeah. This guy was fucking weird. I have a screenshot of that too, but I don't want to share that one because it gives me visceral disgust. But also, yes, I am sharing this as I'm sharing it with you guys. But this guy was just hella pathetic. And normally, again, I don't share stuff like this usually, but it was just so out of this world that I just kind of. It was so fucking weird. Wait, no, you guys see this shit? Yeah, wait, I will show it, because just to show proof that he did in fact ask that, hey, fucking hang on. Hang on. Hang on, I am editing this, cause what the fuck? Uh, hang on. Fucking right there. Right there. Dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? I blocked him like... I played nice. I played nice with him until the end of that conversation. Um, and then I fucking blocked him. Exactly, Mello. Exactly. I played nice with him after that. It was just insane. Also, I don't know how to spell. uh, this is my own Discord server, by the way. I'm not like exposing someone else's. This is my own Discord server. This is my own, so don't worry. But yeah, guys, stuff like this does happen. It is insane. It is insane. To be honest, I didn't expect to be talking about it this morning, but like, I woke up on the wrong side of the bed today, so. Like, every 10 seconds would be something sexual. And, like, I only took so many screenshots because, you know, right after this conversation, I just deleted and blocked his contact. Because what the fuck, that is gross. But this stuff does happen, guys. I swear to God, I'm not lying. I swear to God. It's horrific. He just kept asking whether if I... And this guy's a Marine, so... This guy's a Marine. He's a military bench, so this is not surprising. I wish I took photos of the part... I wish I screenshotted the text of me literally telling him up front that he sounded super pathetic. But I didn't, and now I wish I did. Because I literally told him up front. And then he responded with, I just masturbate and sleep all day and eat. I'm like, yeah, I could tell. Like, dude, you need... You know what, dude, I think I'm starting to realize why you don't have any friends. Like you've said 10 times. I told him up front too that like I told him up front that he doesn't sound like he has any sort of dominant presence at all, just in general, or in sex, or like just in any situation, because he just sounds so awkward and so like, you guys know me. I like pathetic people, but like it's a certain kind of pathetic. Um, but I'm glad you guys share my visceral disgust. Oh, let me. You guys can't see that because it's smaller. Like, guys, this is just ridiculous. It's insane. And this was a sister, and this was a friend of my sibling. Like, I met him once. One time. That one time he was over to our house waiting to go home. And we didn't say shit to each other. And then he left and he started saying all this. And then, I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys, I didn't forget that he was there. I just was constantly ignoring his messages. And then I just deleted his contact, and then when he started messaging me again, his contact showed up again. Which was, last night. And then I had this conversation and I blocked him. Deleted and blocked him, like, right away. Well, I guess if I have anything to thank for my apathy, it's the fact that I have a lot of patience. It doesn't seem that way to my sibling, but that's because they're my sibling. But conversations like this is not new. It's not new. Unfortunately, I've had conversations like this when I was a lot younger with people a lot older than me that I shouldn't have. And even then I knew it was weird and wrong. But back then I was still a kid, so. But nowadays, somebody talking like this isn't enough for me to block them or like delete them or anything. But the moment they mentioned my sibling and like asking for nudes of my sibling, it was like, hell no. Like, the hell is wrong with you? Like, some people are really just that crazy, guys. You guys gotta be careful out there. With me, it's like, I don't really care, so like, I don't have a problem just straight up blocking people and ghosting people. If they act weird like this, like, I have no emotional connection like that. Like, I'll play nice to have conversation just to not make a scene. But know that if you're being weird, and I'm talking to you normally, and then you never hear from me again, I've blocked you. Or deleted. Like, I'm not gonna straight up tell someone I blocked them unless they ask or make a scene, because it's easier to just silently just ghost them. But yeah, guys, it's insane. Truly. It's truly insane. Just wanted to share that with you guys. I'll turn the chat back on, sorry. If I find any more crazy chat stuff during the stream, I'll share them with you guys after I edit them, because I have a bit. I have kind of a lot of them. I'm glad we shared the same disgust. I, if I have anything to thank myself for, it's my apathy and my patience. They can go hand in hand sometimes. I do have I don't know if you guys noticed, but I do have a, a channel in my server that's named comments. That's where I share comments that I get. Usually hate comments. Um, just to like clown a little bit, but also just talk about it. Because some people say some crazy stuff. And it's kind of wild. I mean, if you guys want to see some of those, I'd show you guys, but we could totally go through the comment channel. Also, some people think I'm deleting replies when normally I don't really do that because I have to check all the comments that I get. I have to check that because my my moderation is strict. Um, so I can't. I have to approve comments first. If it's deleted, it's mostly like uh either it was just inappropriate or like going on for too long, or because you have to press on newest comments to see them. I don't know why YouTube does that, where when you get new comments or like even like weeks after the comment is posted, you can't see them unless you press on newest. Like that's kind of stupid. And then people, you know what gets me is that people in comments where I respond to them. Um, what's the lore behind your avatar? Um, Nothing really. I just decided to draw them because it looks pretty. Also because I just really like skull stuff. Like skull zombie stuff. My persona is a Dullahan. Like a Dullahan zombie skeleton lady. And Dullahans can count as fairies in some stories, so I base a lot of things in my stories off of where I live, which is the Pacific, which is my family is Filipino. My mom's side of the family is Filipino Chinese, and so I wanted to do something that came more from my dad's side, that is like white Irish, um, Cherokee. Very little of that, but there. But the only thing I know about my dad is that he has Cherokee, he's Irish, uh, and he's white as fuck. So I want to do that, and I like folklore stuff. So I wanted to do that. They don't have a backstory; they just exist. You know what? Wait, there's some comments in here that I want you guys to see. um, there's some comments in here that. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. There's comments in here Teehee. There's this person. Um, you guys can't see it because I'm looking right now. There's this one person, that I actually brought up to my therapist, on Tuesday. So, like, not even that long ago. Where it was on one of my mental health vids, and they were talking about how, self-diagnosis is cringe and invalid. Um, and they basically went on a whole rant about basically what their whole comment was. It's still there. I haven't deleted it. What their whole comment was basically taking every negative experience everyone's ever experienced and chalking that up to everyone's experience. And just being an all around negative Nancy. And I talked to my therapist about it, and I asked him, what is your view on self-diagnosis, you know? And he's like, well, as long as they're doing the research and trying to find ways around their problems, I don't see what's wrong with it. And I'm like, exactly! And he was like, self-diagnosis is literally the first step to actually getting diagnosed. And I'm like, that's what I say! Like, guys, and the person was like, if your therapist tells you that self-diagnosis is valid, you should get a new therapist. But anyway, there's a funny here's a funny comment for y'all. Can you guys read this without going? Can anyone read this without going into a stroke? Because I can't. Y'all want to try and guess what this was in response to? Wait, let me read it out loud. It says, I'm not saying that don't do sex or don't love yourself or anything like that. If you don't want to do something, don't fucking do it. If you want to do it, or if you want to do something, go fucking do it. That's all I'm saying, because I don't know what the fuck asexual want. I don't say I can date asexual because you know their sexuality, but I'm not hating, okay? You do what the fuck you want, okay? Go live your life, have fun. Don't do things that make you uncomfortable, okay? Yes. What the fuck? So basically, this was in response to me saying I'm asexual and that I don't really, you know, um, that I feel little to no sexual attraction, if at all. Uh, and I don't, to be honest, I have no idea what this guy was saying either. But it left me confused, that's for sure. I think this is on a video where I was explaining that I was a bunch of these things, and they were like, had a stroke reading that? Yeah, I did too. That's why I asked, like, could you guys read this without having a stroke? Because I can't. Uh, Hang on. Every time I move, I'm gonna block my thing because there's a lot of pictures and stuff in here that have nothing to do with it. But yeah, it was super confusing. I didn't understand either. I have no shame in showing these people. This guy's account is like gone, so he's not there, but who the fuck starts a conversation like that? You know? Well, I don't have the running up to that guy's asexual comment, but basically he was being an asshole and being like, "Look, I don't want to date an asexual because y'all don't fuck, but like I don't care, but like it's not my preference." But basically stating stuff where it's like nobody fucking asked. I don't have the run up to that conversation, and I can't really find it because people have a habit of deleting their comments. It's just weird. It's kind of that thing where people feel entitled to state that it's not their preference and that because it's not their preference, um, that kind of thing. Um, um, if you guys see stuff, I don't delete comments really unless it's like super offensive or something. This is what I this is what I mean. Oh shit. This is what I mean by I don't delete comments. It's just not there unless you refresh. St- this person was going off because I had clown makeup on. They said that me having clown makeup on was like some sort of crime or something. I am referring to the public not putting up with this weak behavior anymore in response to me wearing blue clown makeup. Do you see people like this who respond like this? Can you? I can't take people like this seriously because they try so hard to seem like they're unbothered that it becomes super obvious that they're bothered. You guys get what I mean? It's just it's ridiculous. And people don't believe me when I say I get comments like this. But I do. It happens practically every day. You know? All of this was over clown makeup. And me saying that I look good in the outfit I was wearing. And I responded with, I look great, and I think that's good. And they were like, in case you were unaware, you're not hot to me. And it's not up to you whether you think you're hot or not. It's up to the people around you and their opinion. Like, and then saying that it's a sign that I'm unstable because I think I'm good looking. Like, people don't think stuff like this happens, but it does. Every day, all the time. And people ask, why do you respond if you say that you don't care about other people's opinion? Oh, well, because first of all, it's funny to be petty, and it's a way to pass the time. Second of all, like I've said over and over, my motivation to respond is stupid people. Because stupid people baffle me to the point where I'm like, okay. But most times, I don't really say anything about it. I mean, maybe I'll respond and be like cheeky. I'll be like, well, I don't think so. But just because I respond doesn't mean I've magically changed. At the end of the day, y'all don't even know what my first name is. So, I think I'm hot as fuck. So, that's all I need. But also, it's just kind of fun to clown on some people who think that their opinion is like the say all be all. And look, here's the context to the person. Oops. Here's the context of the person with the clown makeup. They see somebody who doesn't meet their standard of, like, normal, and they go off the rail. Hey, you get called out and get triggered and prove those who think you are doing too much right? Boy, I was literally fooling around having fun lip-syncing with my clown makeup on. And you decided to be like, oh, your clown makeup makes you unstable and like you're doing too much and you're an attention seeker. Fuck! I need treatment and psych meds for years. But choose to roll in their madness like some kind of mental mud. This is over me having makeup on. Makeup! And you... What is going on? Hang on, do I have the picture? This is... I have it. I have the picture. I have the picture that they were mad over. This is what they were commenting over. This is what they said made me mentally unwell. This is just me having fun, dude. This is just me having fun. They're afraid of my whimsy. They can't handle that I'm joyous and like to have fun. They just can't handle my whimsy, guys. I'm too fun for them. They're a negative Nancy who doesn't know how to have fun. They hate that about me. They hate that I have joy and whimsy despite the fact that I'm apathetic in basically every way. Also, there was this one person, who was, like, talking about Trump or something. Hang on, I'm looking for more. This is just a comment session where we talk about comments that I get. I still remember the Pissmaster saga. Oh, wait, there's this one. There's this one. Can you guys believe this shit? I don't care about fetish and stuff like that. But, that doesn't mean I won't side-eye people. Cause, like, if it's between two adults, I don't fucking care. But, like, if this is a comment unprompted. I said, I think this is on a video where I mentioned that I wear adult diapers because sometimes my bladder is bad. And somebody said, I'll smash a diaper. The fuck? This is not the time or place for that, dude. People are insane. I'm just showing you guys the comments that I get now. Oh yeah, this is a comment on the same video, by the way. This is a comment on me saying that telling telling a disabled person that you would rather die instead of be disabled is like, you know, fucking inappropriate and hella disrespectful. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. When your opinion is telling someone that you'd rather be dead than, like, be disabled because they're disabled, that's an opinion that I fear is a dick move. Your opinion can still be bad. So, so that's basically telling someone that their existence, because you're basically telling someone that death is better than their existence. Which is why, like, you can have an opinion. And then that same person said, it's just my preference. It's crazy. It's crazy how people think that there's nothing wrong with that. Also, you guys asked about my therapist, because I show my therapist these comments, by the way. Just for just to have their thoughts on it. And this is how my therapist would respond. My therapist is an old man, by the way. He's an old man that cracks dad jokes. And, like, why the chicken crossed the road kind of jokes. And this is basically his way of saying, wow, that person's a bitch. And I find that iconic. I think that's iconic. I think my therapist is kind of funny, guys. And my therapist finds me funny. This was the specific commenter that he was referring to, by the way. My therapist. The Piss Master Saga. Which, first of all, saying that you're taking the piss out of me when your name is Piss Master, and you're like, oh my god, I'm laughing at these replies. Like, no, you're not. You're not laughing. You're seething. Apparently, if you make art of your trauma, that means you're edgy and not traumatized, guys. Said by Pissmaster themselves. And they're like... people, one thing I've noticed is that people can't accept the fact that I have a family that's, like, chill, for the most part. They can't accept the fact that I have a decently supportive family. Apparently, that's just a foreign concept to them. It's a foreign concept to them that I have a family. They're like, because I'm apathetic and because I'm not emotionally empathetic in any way, they're like, oh, your family must hate you. I'm like, no. Mommy told you to wash the dishes? Is that your trauma? No, piss. I was sexually trafficked for years. I think that might be my trauma. I've literally had people try to kill me. I've literally had a gun held to my head. It was a fake out. It wasn't real, but I didn't know that. I've had people stalk me. I've had people give out my information to my abusers to go and hurt me. I've dissociated and walked miles and miles away from my house and had to walk back. Like, it's insane. I've been stabbed and I've stabbed people. So, and then you say this, I'm like, I don't think you do. Cause Because they were literally telling me in the previous comment, you know, there's this thing called therapy. And that my therapist should lock me up. But then in this comment, they say, my family knows that the hospital and therapists are not the solution. What do you want me to do? My family were the ones to get me therapy. What are you talking about? My family were literally the ones to support me when I willingly volunteered to put myself in the ward. They were like, whatever you need to make yourself feel better. And my mom visited and called me every day. What the fuck are you talking about? My family has seen and heard me do some of the most heinous shit. And they're still chill. So, like, what are you talking about? Like, it's crazy. And then, of course, they had to pull out the slur. Once you say this, once you pull out the slurs, and like this, where it's like, oh, my mom and I are having a good time reading your replies, can't stop laughing. That's how you know they're angry. That's how you know they're pissed. Which fits, considering they're the master of it, but, like, people like this do exist, guys. Like, I'm telling you guys. I can't believe I have to prove to some people that people like this exist. But... you can tell I'm exhausted just reading these comments. Oh, if you guys have been here long enough, a little long enough, you guys will know, there's this guy named Mike, and what I mainly like to do, what I like to do is when someone's being a bitch, or something, or like something like that, I like to go, they're pulling a mic, and this is what I'm referring to. Because I don't know what this guy's problem was. This is on the same video of the person saying that my clown makeup made me unstable. This is on the same video of me with that clown makeup on. Also, I don't know how Debbie is an insult, but... like, can you guys imagine? Can you guys imagine being so pressed by pigmentation? Which honestly doesn't surprise me, because people get this pressed over melanin. But apparently if you cover it up with makeup, it's just as bad. Can you imagine being so miserable that somebody having a dot on their nose and eyeshadow on their eyes makes you so viscerally angry and pathetic? This is why I tell people that my motivation is stupid people. Because look at this shit. There's more. This guy, I don't remember how many comments he left, but this guy had left at least over 38 comments. Know when your family gives you the slightest attention? My family does all the time. It seems like you're seeking my validation, dude. My mom didn't do either of those things, thank you. Like, can you guys imagine all of this over me wearing makeup and an outfit? Saying that my family is inbred? Dude, my family couldn't be... the two sides of my family couldn't be any farther apart from each other. I have to prove to so many people every day that I'm related to my mother, that my mother literally birthed me. Like, it is ridiculous. Imagine being so pressed over someone wearing makeup that you tell them that they were diddled by a family member, which I wasn't, by the way. Or saying that my family's inbred. Can you imagine? Can you guys imagine that? Like, it's ridiculous, and I want you guys to understand just how ridiculous some of this shit is. Sorry. I'm just baffled. I'm baffled by just how pressed people are. Because I've never once in my life looked at someone and been like, oh my god, they have to be mentally unstable or inbred because they're wearing a shirt that I don't like. Like, I just can't imagine being pressed like that. And then every time something like this happens, normally the people point out my teeth as if I haven't lived with them. I'm like, yeah, I'm insecure about them, but not because I think I look bad. It's because I can't eat. Oh my god, speaking of this, I should do the thing. I did this once already, but we should look at this video I made of just my hate comments. Yeah, I'm going to pull up the video right now. Just to give you guys an idea. Cause I had a video, short on Instagram pop off at like 1,000,000 something views. And it was about my cult abuse. And I had so many comments on there that I asked my friends, like, hey, do you guys want to read some of these hate comments? And they were immediately like, yes, we should do that. I'm like, okay. And I made a whole video on it. Hang on, wait. You guys can't see it yet, but hang on. Here it is.
Hold on.
Hang on, wait, let me make this. Let me make this a little bigger. Beep, 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 beep. I know it'd probably be easier just for me to press on full, but I find this funnier. Let me just move myself down here. Strap in, fellas, strap in. I'm just gonna silently let this play. And I hope that you guys can hear it, but let me turn it up just in case. Oh, at this point, I'll probably have to get my entire front row removed. I'll probably have to get almost all my teeth removed at this point. But, like, I don't care. I don't care if I need braces. I don't care if I need dentures. As long as I can eat, man. I don't really care. That's what I tell people. Is like, when I say I'm insecure about my teeth, I'm not insecure because I think I look ugly. I'm insecure because I can't fucking eat. I don't care if I need braces or dentures or anything, as long as I can eat without being in pain. And at this point, all my molars except for one are like rotting and damaged and like basically gone. and like almost my entire front row needs to be removed. So like at this point, I don't care, man. But here, I'm gonna play. This is a video about the hate comments that I got on that one video alone, and some of them weren't even the worst. But I can't go back because my Instagram is banned now. But this is what I'm just gonna let it play and have you guys listen. If you guys can't hear it, tell me.
How about no?
I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna let you guys listen to it. Just keep playing. Hang on. I'm turning it up because why is it so soft?
I hope you go to jail soon, and nobody on earth has to meet you or know you. I fucked up and saw my mom die and shit, but you could not torture me enough to say anything like this. What the hell is wrong with you, you absolute psychopath? Please, genuinely get the fuck off the internet and seek genuine fucking help, instead of traumatizing others on the internet.
Did you guys hear that? My stream is a little delayed, so. Okay, wait. Okay, that's better. Okay, I know you guys can hear it. Also, I can't get implants. I'm not I have sensory processing disorder, and that literally fucks up my stimulation, and I can't get implants or else I'll literally be in even more pain. So, yeah. That's not gonna be for me, Chief.
How about no?
Anyway, I'm just gonna let it play. We had so much fun doing this.
This is some weird app behavior. Even if it's in the past, what's the need to tell people knowing they will have a bad impression of you?
I think Muslim's having a fucking stroke.
Jump!
Already did,
Especially because most of these people
so I'm still here.
Try again!
Lol, nah.
voice for me.
I'm too lazy. Serial killer activities. Yeah.
Same. Serial killer backstory.
I swear to God, I'm gonna kill someone.
What?
Pretty much.
What's the Hereditary right now?
Good movie. That's a lie. I've never actually seen it, but I know what it's about.
Why isn't my hate comment in there?
I never saw it. So it's, like, not worthwhile. Obsessed much? Huh? Seek help? I'm in help. Nothing about this account should be allowed. Well, too bad.
What the actual fuck?
Me too, bro. Every time I look back on it,
These are pretty tame,
teen years.
but I've had worse ones, and I didn't want to show those ones.
You're sick. I don't give a fuck what cult you're in. Never show that shit. You don't deserve to be respected or looked at. Anyway.
The cult didn't see me as human either, nor did they give me respect. So I'm used to it.
Are you fucking okay? Like, holy shit. My god.
Jeffrey Dahmer?
Get the fuck out.
Understandable. Have a great day.
I literally had a hyperfixation on cults for 3 months straight in 2020, but sure, pathological liars crack me up. You're hilarious. Cry emoji. Cringe.
No, this comment in particular got to me because I was like, what are you talking about? This person was basically saying because they had a hyperfixation on cults for 3 fucking months years ago after I posted this, because I posted this like either last year or the beginning of this year, somewhere during that. And this person was saying because they had a hyperfixation, that meant they had more on it than me. You know, the person that was actually there. What? They were also saying because I didn't have the answers to everything, that meant I was lying. I'm like, if you talk to somebody expecting all of the answers and specific details, don't fucking talk to them. Because you're not going to always get that. I've forgotten so much, but that's just crazy. It's just crazy to me that somebody thinks they have authority over me simply because they researched it a bunch about my experience, even though I was literally there.
Are you fucking kidding me? Where you going?
I.
Where you going, little boy?
Wait. Okay. Hold up.
Get back here, little boy.
No.
I said, get back here, little boy.
This isn't funny, but okay.
No, it isn't. But I can laugh at my own experiences.
Not a flex?
Who said it was?
Well, you're posting it like it makes you special.
Yes, because it's my account. I'm free to post my experiences. It doesn't automatically make it a flex. Half my account is about my cult experiences.
Get professional help before it's too late. This is not normal.
Actually, I've been in therapy for years.
Oh, and the funny part about this is that because on TikTok I'm in the community of other people who have experienced it, we joke about it literally all the time. Because we're joking about our own trauma. But then the moment a joke goes outside of your own community, you get a completely different reaction because people aren't used to that. So like, if I made jokes about it in that community, it's like, I feel the same, I relate. But then if it reaches outside the community, even by an inch, all of a sudden you're seen as like the devil or something.
Was it alive or dead when you found it? Like, did you kill it?
Nah, I found it on like a random Walmart.
I saw a dead bird on a sidewalk and I decided to poke it.
Pretty gross. You got any gum in your purse?
Honey, all serial killers start out with killing animals.
Yeah, well, all morons start with M. Monica.
And here's the thing about that when it comes to animal violence. It is not it is a common sign amongst those kinds of people, but it's also very common amongst neurodivergent people in general that has nothing to do with any sort of malicious intent. Not in all cases. There are some cases where kids just don't know better. They have morbid curiosity, or they just don't understand what they're doing is wrong, and you have to tell them. That's how kids learn. A lot of autistic people do this. Actually, and here's the truth of it. Violence with animals is actually pretty common amongst neurodivergent people. But hardly ever is it a sign that your child is like some sort of secret serial killer. Because most times, the child doesn't know. And then if that behavior continues on and on, then that's when you should really start seeking help for it. Like, in my case. but it's not a surefire sign that your child is some sort of future zodiac, you know? So.
Freak! Now, why would you even do that?
Cult. I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory.
Is this your villain arc story by chance?
Honestly, it could be, but like, I ain't into that shit.
Yes, great. Sure.
Dudes, we're watching the video.
What the fuck?
Dudes, you were in this video!
Time I look back on it.
This is the government speaking. I love lying.
And this is me speaking to you. Fuck the government.
Interesting. Anyway, did your footprint exist, by the way?
Yes, I know. One look at my account would tell you enough that I'm a freaking weirdo.
That's nice.
It didn't feel very nice. Very icky.
Listen to what it's saying and then look at it. Then I want you to ask yourself, is this someone who is mentally stable enough to live with the rest of us? If your answer is yes, you're part of a huge real-life problem!
Sir, sometimes I can't even wipe my own ass by myself. I think there are bigger problems at hand.
Like, I spend most of my days napping. Well, no, actually. Not every child does. Not every child expresses that through hurting animals either. In my case, I have a long history of violence. Towards people and animals. And ever since I was a child, because of my very high and strong sadism and apathy, I felt no remorse for it. Like, my pull towards violence was so strong that I would intentionally, like, go out of my way just to see things hurt. Mostly just bugs and, like, lizards and stuff, because they're tiny. But it's like squashing a cockroach isn't all that much, but in my case, the context behind it was a little bit more. Like, when you squash a cockroach and you hear, like, the crunch, the squish, to me, I would pick up the roach with a like a paper towel or something, and just after that you just throw it away, right? Like, you don't have to do anything, but I would purposefully slowly crush the roach just to see it like struggle and flinch, and to hear that crunching noise because it gave me satisfaction. Like, that's basically the context behind a lot of it, which doesn't seem like that much on the surface, but obviously was. Like, how sometimes, like, when lizards have their tails fall off, or geckos or whatever, and their tails, like, wag around, like, I would just watch it happen. And, like, during a time when I was young, I would, we had a lot of fish. I don't know why we had so many fish. We had a lot of fish, and I would stick my hand in the tank when no one was looking, and take the fish out of the tank, and just watch it flop around in my hands and onto the floor, and then take the fish, and then put it back in the tank, and then probably do it again, like, hours later. I would do that multiple times a day. And those were the signs of my violence at an early age. Like, obviously, I'm far from that. Well, actually, that's kind of a lie. When I see a roach, I still do that, but, you know, I would catch geckos and cut their tails off. I would throw fish on the floor just to see it gasp for air. And, like, sometimes they would die, you know, and that was just animals. there was a point in time where I was afraid of birds. I was very afraid of birds. Because, well, one time when I was on the playground, I got attacked by a bird and I fell off. But other than that, um, I just kind of like, I was afraid that if I looked at it, it would drop dead. Because I had a history of, against birds too. We never had pet birds. But it was like that thing where it was like you would see a dead bird on the sidewalk. And I would take it into the house and like play around with it. Because I was addicted to the smell. And that became one of the things in the future that was used against me when I was being abused, was the smell. And there's a very specific smell to it, but I can't describe it. Um, so you can only imagine how I was towards people. But yeah, unfortunately, I was a very violent kid. Um, so it was bad. And the fact that the group that trafficked me would like kill and abuse animals on a daily basis in front of me didn't help that much. Just fed into me a lot more until I got out. And then I was like, no, that's not cool. I don't want to do that. So it's it's not a fun thing. Um, due to me being like apathetic in every way, though. Uh, in all honesty, I felt no remorse for any of it, and I still don't. But what I do understand is that I shouldn't be doing those things because it's just kind of inappropriate and unnecessary. Like I don't need to be doing that. Um so although I don't feel any remorse, uh logically I can understand that what I was doing was was gross and yucky, and don't do that. Don't do that, kids. Don't do that, kids, that's bad. uh here's your life lessons, guys. Here's your life lesson from me. Don't do that. That's bad.
I have a pen.
But yeah, that's about it though. That was a bit of a trauma dump, wasn't it? It's literally like, oh, the background isn't covering the thing. Yeah, I'm moving myself. And it's that's the thing. It's where it's like where I emotionally I'm not gonna feel bad, but like logically it's just like unnecessary, and that's how I understand things. Well, I've never had a hard time understanding things. It's just that I didn't care. But like, but like, um, I tell people it's like empathy and kindness don't go hand in hand. I don't believe it does because uh like you can be super emotionally empathetic and be a hard bitch. So I don't understand why people think that just because you're empathetic that means you're nice. I never understood that. Um and it's also a thing where just because I understood logically that it's wrong doesn't mean it stopped me. I've slipped up a few times. It's more complicated than that. There's some complexities there that I'm not smart enough to explain. Well, empathy can be both cognitive and emotional. That's why there's a difference between emotional empathy and cognitive empathy, just like anything else. Because being emotionally empathetic usually means you can feel it, and then cognitively, usually you don't really feel it that much, but you can understand it from a logical point of view. And that's different from sympathy, because empathy I'm glad you like Robert. Robert is my son. But anyway. But like, empathy is usually being able to understand someone by feeling and sharing their emotions, like understanding and putting yourself in their shoes. While sympathy is like feeling for somebody, without necessarily sharing their feelings. That's why, that's usually like connected to when people say that they pity someone. Like you can feel sympathetic for someone without being empathetic. And actually, can it also be the other way around? I'm sure it can. Because I don't feel empathetic towards people. Or even sympathetic towards people. I don't feel emotionally connected to people, if at all. So I don't really care, even if I do understand their problems. But normally, I'm not, like, the center of it, so I'm just in the background. Kinda just seeing everything go on. Like, every time my family, like, tells me something about, like, relationship drama and stuff, I'm just like, that's crazy. Because I'm not really in relationships at all. Like, I don't get romance. Which is funny. Because I've had people tell me that apparently I'm very good at writing like chemistry or whatever. And I just go, oh, okay. Even though I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't feel empathetic or sympathetic for, which I know I say that I can empathetic, like cognitively I can feel empathy, but that's usually just because logically I'm thinking about it from like, a logical standpoint, but I don't feel anything. I don't really care. There's no special person in my life. Like everyone to me is the same. Like when it comes to romance, I don't really care much to seek connection like that, but also a part of me does want at least one person there that isn't my family member, just to like understand and get it. Because all I ask for really is like just understanding, trust, and just chill. But also, when I say understanding, I mean I don't love you. Like, I'm upfront about that. Like, emotionally, I might not be able to feel or give you what you need, like, when it comes to feelings-wise. But that doesn't mean I'm going to, like, be a bad partner, or, like, not give you the bare minimum. Like, I don't lead people on like that. That's just cruel. I'm always upfront about that because I want people to know that if a romantic relationship is ever on the table, I have to tell them, like, hey, I don't feel anything for you emotionally. And being single in this kind of environment is hard. So part of it might also be convenience. But like, as long as I tell you that and you get it and you're chill and we're just having fun, like, I don't see what's wrong with it. But then people are like, oh my god, that means you're a heartless bastard. I'm like, no. I just kind of experience things in a different way. Like, people assume just because I don't feel something that means I'm gonna, like, become a master manipulator or something. Dude, I forget. I already forgot what I ate this morning. I'm not gonna remember. So, like, yeah. Emotionally, when it comes to my feelings and how I connect to people, no, I don't love you. But, like, when it comes to someone's emotional needs and just being, generally cared for, boom, there's that. It's not that hard. It's not that hard to care about somebody without, like, having to feel strongly for them. And I mean, that goes for any kind of relationship with me. Like, when my, when I'm asked about if I love my family, I go, no. I care for them. But, like, I don't say I love them because it feels incorrect. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't like saying I love people because it just feels incorrect to how I feel. But then, people who, a lot of times when we tell people that, they'll project their own feelings onto you and be like, oh, you don't actually feel that way. Or, like, tell me that what I'm feeling isn't true then, because that's not how they see it. And, like, it is. It's like how when people ask me a question and they expect some sort of deep psychological answer, and I just give them just cuz, or I don't know. That's it. It's good to read into things, but sometimes people read into it way too much. Sometimes the reason is just cuz. And there's nothing other than that. Sometimes when I say words, they're just words to me. I don't feel any sort of emotional weight towards them. When I do things, it's just me doing something. There's no thought towards it. That's just how I am. People are projecting onto me because they don't think I'm projecting enough or something. That's why it's hard to talk to people, like, casually, because they just don't believe what I say half the time. Like, if you have to ask me why I felt like such violent urges or do stuff, and you asked me why, I just say, I don't know. Or I would give you the other answer and be like, power. And it's not really that deeper. It's not really deeper than that. Because I have to repress that, because that part of me is a part that genuinely only gets pleasure from seeing things suffer. And it's hard to talk about that outside of a medical environment, because it's been memeified so much that people don't actually take it seriously. And when you try to talk about it, they just make jokes about it and say, oh, so you're like an evil mastermind? No. I'm somebody who has to fucking deal with this shit every day. And I'm on the verge of exploding every day. It's just good that I have so much regulation and cognitive skills to realize, and patience, that I haven't exploded like that. That's why I don't understand when people say, oh, this person was born with such kindness in their heart. They were just born kind. But then, and everyone accepts that, but then when it's the other way around, where it's like, oh, this person was born with just badness. I don't understand why that can't be a possibility. Like there, I don't. I feel like, because the thing is, you can be raised with a completely normal family and completely normal friends, and still turn out to be an absolute horrible piece of shit. Good kids come from bad environments just like bad kids come from good ones. So I don't really see why it's so out of reach to think that there are some people out there who are really just born with their core motivation to just be a bad person. And I guess people don't like saying that because it feeds into stereotypes and like the whole nature nurture thing. Which I can understand. I can understand that completely, especially as somebody who deals with stuff that is demonized and villainized on a daily basis. But we also have to realize that if one of them is true, the other one can also be a possibility. It's not that far out there to say that somebody is really just a bad person just because in their core that's how they want to be. Like it's really not a stretch to say that. Just like how somebody at their core has always just wanted to be a good person. It's just like I just don't understand why people are so against that possibility. I think if we start accepting that possibility, we could get some more things done. That's what I believe anyway, personally. That if we accepted it more as a possibility, that maybe we could start talking about more stuff. That's what I personally believe. But I also understand if people don't agree with that, because people could also use it to feed into negative stereotypes about stuff, and I completely understand that. Just like how I believe that every white person is racist in some way, but let me explain. I feel like if we accept the fact that every white person, I am a whitey, by the way, has a little bit of racism in them, because of how society raises us socially, that it's kind of in our brains where our assumptions about people are kind of programmed into our brain a little bit. And I think it's a societal issue, because brains will make assumptions all the time. That's what brains do. And sometimes you have that thought in your head that kind of just pops up. But what the difference is whether or not you decide to live your life by those assumptions, you know? But I feel like if we acknowledge that socially, a lot of white people, due to how society is and how it raises you, has those moments like that, I feel like we could start working on it a bit more. But yeah, I don't know. Those are just my personal feelings on it. I'm Filipino, Chinese, Cherokee, Irish, white, Hawaiian. I'm a fucking mixing pot of things. But my biggest is me being white, obviously. Irish, Filipino, and Chinese are my biggest ones. Because that's from my mom's side. And I live on the Pacific Islands, so I was raised by my mom's side of the family. I People, I'm kind of surprised that I get asked this, but people often ask, um, uh, paternal, you mean like my family? Is my family nice? What do you mean by paternal? I'm kind of stupid, what does that mean? Yeah. Oh, you mean my dad? Yeah, he's chill. He was more of an asshole to my mom than anyone. He wasn't like an abusive father or anything. It was that thing where like they were young, and he was kind of a dick. But nowadays, he's just chilled out a lot more. That doesn't mean I have to. That doesn't mean I have to feel any way towards him because he hasn't been in my life since elementary school. But to be honest, I didn't even notice that he left. If you asked me, to be completely honest, I think my dad leaving affected me the least out of everything. Because I've just been living. I don't really care. He used to send us letters and gifts and stuff, but it stopped happening as we got older because he has another family who I'm pretty chill with. Not all of them, mainly just my stepmom and my other siblings. But my mom and my stepmom are on good terms. So like it was a thing where they were young and he was kind of an asshole when they were young. Now that he's older, he's kind of just chillaxed. But I don't really have any feelings on my dad. No, it's just an audio. It's part of the lo-fi. That's because my dad's side, so my mom's side of the family is not really religious in any way. Even though both my grandparents were raised, I don't know if it was Christian or Catholic, I don't remember. They were raised one of those two. But as they got older, they weren't really connected to religion at all, so my grandparents aren't religious. So that they never baptized my mother or anything. And my mother didn't really grow up religious either. So we weren't really raised on religion. Instead they were like, you get to choose what you believe in, you know? Um, so we weren't raised religious, but my cousin believes there's a God. My sibling also believes, in God in some way. I am an atheistic Satanist. It's, for me personally, it's just being an atheist with extra steps. But the reason I like it is because it has more of a structure that I can follow easier. I don't need it, but it just feels more comfortable like that. Compared to my dad's side of the family, who is majorly religious. At least his parents are. My other set of grandparents. Like, you couldn't say, oh my god, in the household. That kind. I'm not sure of the other family members, but I do know that at some point one of my dad's sisters, so one of my aunts on my dad's side, thought I was demonic because of the art that I draw. But I'm not sure. My dad himself has told me that he's not really particularly religious. It hasn't connected to him. So I don't think he's religious in any way. And again, I haven't talked to him since like earlier this year, so I don't really care what you believe in, as long as we can both chill in the same room. Um, um, So, I mean, my cousin used to go to church. So, like, we weren't raised religious, but, as far as I know, the two of them are religious. I'm not really religious, necessarily. Which is interesting because I've stated, several times that I don't respect religion, but I respect your freedom to have it, and then people ask, why are you an atheistic Satanist then? Well, because to me, I mean, there's theistic Satanism and there's atheistic Satanism. Theistic is where you, is like any other religion where they believe in Satan as a deity. And who Satan is will, be different depending on who you ask, personally. Meanwhile, atheistic Satanism, you don't believe in him. You are kind of your own god. It's more about self-love. And so to me, atheistic Satanism is just being an atheist with extra steps. And people ask why I feel this way, and I tell them it's not because I hate religion outright. I believe that religion can bring a lot of good, but there's too much that I disagree with for me to really, there's just too much I disagree with. So I don't respect religion itself, necessarily, but I don't care if you express religion in any way, because that's your expression, and it can bring genuine happiness to people. So as long as I'm chill and you're chill and we can, like, just chat, then I'm fine. I have many religious friends. I don't mean to pull that card, but I have a lot of, Christian friends, witch friends, pagan friends, friends of just differing religions and practices, and we're all chill. And again, religion isn't necessarily what I hate, it's the people, you know? But oftentimes the religion is tied to the people, so... I will take any opportunity I can to be petty about it, though. Like, if somebody tells me to repent, or, like, seek Jesus, I'll be like, I can't wait to rail Satan when I get to him, you know? I will take the chance to be petty like that. Which I know may seem like asshole-ish to some people, but... like, if somebody said that they prayed for me, depending on the context, I won't mind it, or I will mind it, you know? Like, if you want to do that stuff, just ask. Like, if you want to ask to, like, pray for me, or, like, ask if I'm sad and you want to do, like, a prayer for me because you think that'll help me feel better, as long as you ask, I'm completely fine with it. And you can go ahead and do it. It's just, there, time and place, you know? It's all about time and place. Like, I'm not gonna tell someone to shut up if they tell someone to about God and we're in a church, because that's literally what that place is for. Yes. So yeah, basically. Because people express care in their own way, and it just depends on how they go about it. Like, I'm not really somebody who cares, and because of that, I'm not really someone who comforts. So usually my way of doing it is just letting you have your space. Unless you explicitly ask me to do something, I'm not gonna do anything. Because, for me, when I'm like that, do not touch me. Like, don't hug me, don't talk to me, just leave me alone. And then when I come out, I'll be good, you know? And because people are like, oh, I want to hug you when you're sad. Like, don't. Because first of all, I'm not. But second of all, I don't like touch. No touchy, please. Everyone's different. Everyone's different. And you know, my grandparents, I was raised by my grandparents for a majority of my life, because my mom was very busy and my dad wasn't there. So I feel like I also have a way of expressing myself that's very, like, tough love-ish. where I'm like, I'm the kind of person to be like, you tripped, just get up, walk it off, you'll be fine. You know, that kind of thing. And if I had to say who I was the closest with, it probably had to be my grandpa. And my grandma has told me herself, was like, you know your grandpa's favorite, right? Like, I know. He doesn't hide it. And that's because we think similarly. We're both very logical people. And he's a history nut, so anytime he has facts, I listen. It's also interesting to me because I've had many people tell me that they're inspired by my art, or that they find me to be interesting because of, like, my personality and stuff. And I'm like, cool. But I always feel a little off by it because I don't find anyone interesting. I don't say Gramps, but I say old man. I say old man or old fart. I say Papa a lot. Papa, Grandma, Mom, Auntie, Uncle. You know. And because I live on the islands, everyone is Auntie, Uncle, so that's just kind of the norm here. That's kind of the norm here, where everyone, like, even my teachers, a lot of the times we refer to our teachers as auntie and uncle, because that's like a term of endearment. Like, in my math class, we had this math teacher, and we would just be like, we would raise our hands and be like, hey, auntie, I have a question. Hey, auntie, I have a question. You know, it's like that. But yeah, it's also kind of interesting to think about, actually. To think that where I live, calling everybody auntie and uncle, like, even if they're complete strangers, is the norm, while other places it isn't. So, like, that, and my grandma has, like, heavy pigeon, and my auntie has heavy pigeon. So, like, sometimes it's funny to try and figure out what they're saying. But yeah. My family is the type where we insult each other. Where we make fun of each other and bully each other, but it's, like, endearing. Like, there's this one time my grandparents and I went to my uncle's place, and he was going to drop us off some yarn. And when he came out, not pigeon, like pigeon, like the slang, not the bird. They are completely different things. When I talk about pigeon, I'm not talking about the bird, I'm talking about, the slang. Hawaiian slang. But there's one time we came, and my uncle was going to give us a yarn, and he came out, and the first thing I said to him was like, wow, you really do look fat. And then he threw the middle finger at me, and then I threw the middle finger back, and he slammed the door and he walked away. It was really funny. But yeah, we're the type to cuss in front of each other. Like, we don't really have any problems cussing. And my grandparents are always confused because they didn't raise us like that, but that's just how we are. Like, I can basically talk to my family about anything. Like, I can have long conversations about human anatomy, and, like, talks about how I think genitals look ugly with my grandpa, and he'll agree with me, and we'll just be laughing the entire time. And we'll be, like, in the town center waiting for my grandma to get out of Panda Express. It's really funny. We can talk about anything because we don't really have any shame. Like, on game nights, it becomes so vulgar so quickly. Like, on game nights, there's this one time we were during a blackout, we were playing a card game. And it was like a question game, and you had to write down your answers and see how many people had the same answer as you. The question was, what is one thing you do before you... Talking? I already do that, though. That's like half my channel. My health problems. No, I'm not. I'm talking about us being funny. I was talking about us playing card games. Oh, I do that, though. But only about myself. I am careful about what I say. I know how the internet works. It is not a... Is it an Asian thing? And that was my grandma. I talk really loud. She was like, "Don't talk. You're making us look bad." I'm like, "No, I'm talking about us playing card games." She's like, "Oh, okay, never mind." I don't think it's good that that shame is a part of your family. That's not good. I wouldn't necessarily say that shame is a part of my family. I think it's more of our lack of shame. I don't know. I've never been ashamed of myself. I've never been ashamed of myself that much. I have too much confidence for that. It's because I love myself so much. East Awawa. Oh, was that a keyboard smash or something? I thought is Awawa a real place? Wait. I thought you were talking about a real place. I was confused for a second. Wouldn't be surprised if there was a real place called Awawa. Well, sometimes it can be, but other times it's like, if your family has like not enough shame, sometimes that can be like bad. But it depends on the family. Also, my screen is like super fucking bright, and it's blinding me. Every time I go outside, I always look at my AC and how it's been beat up, and I feel sad because somebody had beef with my AC. Cause I'm like, my room is like right next to, uh, like by the garage, and I have an AC there, and like my AC got beat up. But also because of that, my room is like right next to where everyone walks into the house, so I can hear like conversations and stuff happening. And if I'm loud enough, my grandparents can hear me, so. And I talk loud as fuck, so. Anyway, I think, that's enough me rambling because I am hungry again. And I have not eaten anything except for tiny pancakes. Which was like 2 hours ago. Because that's how long this stream has been going. Bug! But yeah. I think I'm gonna go. I'm probably gonna work on those voice claim sheets because I have 17 of them to draw. which wish me luck, or my hands will disintegrate.